The narcissist, a walking paradox of fragile egos, wrapped in an impenetrable armor of arrogance. They crave attention like moths to a flame, but recoil when that spotlight exposes their flaws. They thrive on controlling others, yet crumble at the faintest hint of independence and responsibility to them. It's as foreign as humility. But fear not, because today, we are diving headfirst into the art of dealing with these emotional vampires. If you've ever been drained by a narcissist, you know the frustration of their constant manipulation, gaslighting, and insatiable need for validation. So what if I told you there's a way to flip the script? OT just to survive but to thrive, while leaving them spinning in their web of delusion. Yes, we're talking about 12 ways to torture the narcissist without lifting a finger in malice. These strategies, inspired by the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and Stoicism, are not about vengeance. They're about reclaiming your peace and power. Think of it as self-improvement with a deliciously ironic twist. From silent defiance to building an unshakable sense of self, these methods will arm you with the tools to navigate the chaotic world of narcissists and come out stronger, smarter, and, dare I say, happier. And no, this isn't just some self-help fluff. This is a masterclass in psychological judo. Before we dive into these 12 foolproof strategies, I want you to join the conversation. Comment "Stay stoic." Stay strong below, if you're ready to take back control of your life. Let's flood the comments with this mantra and create a wave of resilience together. And don't forget, watch until the very end. I've saved the ultimate narcissist taming strategy for last, and you won't want to miss it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell echo, because reclaiming your life starts now. Let's begin. 1. Ignore them. Starve the narcissist of their lifeblood. The narcissist walks into a room like a self-appointed deity, fully expecting the world to revolve around their every word, gesture, and sigh. They feed on attention, your attention. To be specific, whether it's admiration, fear, or frustration, every drop of emotional energy you give them is fuel for their delusions of grandeur. Deny them this lifeblood, and you'll witness something remarkable. The slow, agonizing collapse of their carefully crafted facade. Let's set the scene. You're at a party, and the narcissist begins their performance. With dramatic flair, they recount a story where they were the hero, the genius, the savior. The details are exaggerated, the tone is self-congratulatory, and the occasional glance at you is a demand for validation. The usual script might have you nodding along, feigning interest, or even challenging the absurdity of their tale. But what happens if you don't play your part? Imagine this instead. As they dive into yet another embellished anecdote, you remain calm, indifferent, and disengaged. You offer no reaction, no laughter. No frowns, no applause. When they pause for effect, you simply turn to someone else and ask, "So how's your dog doing?" That's it. You've just delivered the narcissist's worst nightmare. Irrelevant. This isn't just about ignoring them out of spite. It's a calculated act of defiance that attacks the very core of their existence. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, understood the power of disengagement. You have power over your mind, OT outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. By refusing to let the narcissist dictate your attention, you reclaim control over your emotional energy. You're no longer a puppet in their drama. You've become the immovable object to their unstoppable force. But let's be clear, this isn't always easy. Narcissists are masters of provocation, and they won't go down without a fight. They may escalate their behavior, throwing in subtle insults or outrageous claims, to bait you back into their orbit. For example, at the same party, they might suddenly say, "Well, OT, everyone can appreciate my success. Some people just don't have the vicio." A stoic response: silence. Or if you must speak, something neutral like "interesting." Before redirecting the conversation, Epictetus said it best: "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By refusing to engage, you send a powerful message. Their attempts to control you are futile. Ignoring them isn't just a tactic, it's a declaration. You're stating that their behavior doesn't define you, that their attempts to control your attention are meaningless, and for a narcissist, this is the ultimate form of psychological torment. No, to stay calm. The narcissist's volcano meets your glacier. The narcissist thrives on chaos. To them, life is a gladiator arena, And their greatest triumph is seeing you flustered, frustrated, or enraged. Your emotional outbursts are their trophies, proof that they hold power over you. But what happens when their fiery provocations crash against the icy calm of your unwavering composure? The answer is simple: their fire fizzles out, and they're left seething in their impotence. Picture this: the narcissist is like a volcano, unpredictable, loud, and intent on erupting at the slightest provocation. You, on the other hand, must become a glacier, slow, steady, and utterly unaffected by their heat. No matter how much lava they spew, you refuse to melt. This isn't just about staying calm. It's about turning their energy back on them, forcing them to grapple with their inability to control you. Let's take a classic example. You're working on a group project, and the narcissist deliberately criticizes your contributions in front of everyone. Their tone is cutting, their words designed to embarrass you. Most people might react defensively, arguing back or trying to prove their worth. But not you. You channel your inner Marcus Aurelius, who reminds us in Meditations, choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed and you haven't be. Instead of snapping back, you calmly respond, thank you for your feedback, and continue working as if their words had no impact. The narcissist, expecting a reaction, is caught off guard. They may try harder to provoke you, raising their voice or doubling down on the criticism. But your unshakable calmness acts like a mirror, reflecting their irrationality while keeping you untouchable. Here's the beauty of the strategy. By staying calm, you strip the narcissist of their ammunition. Their provocations lose their sting because you've taken away the one thing they want: your emotional response. As Epictetus wisely observed, who then is invincible? The one who cannot be upset by anything outside their reason choice. An absurd but fitting metaphor. Imagine the narcissist as a toddler throwing a tantrum in a toy store. They're screaming, stomping, and expecting everyone to rush to their aid. But you're the unbothered parrot who simply stands there, arms crossed, waiting for the storm to pass. Your calmness frustrates them to no end because it denies them the validation they seek. So the next time the narcissist in your life lights the fuse, be the glacier their volcano may roar, but you remain steady, serene, and resolutely untouchable. This, more than anything, drives them mad and keeps you firmly in control. No. 3. Never share personal information. It all started with an innocent comment, a moment of venting about family gatherings. I honestly hate these reunions, you had said one evening, confiding in your kusi, who just so happened to be the narcissist of the family. At the time it felt safe after all. Who could blame you for disliking the endless chatter, the thinly veiled criticisms, or the suffocating air of forced politeness? But for the narcissist, your honesty wasn't just a statement. It was a weapon. A week later, at the family reunion, you discovered just how sharp that weapon could be. Can you believe they said they hate these gatherings? Your cousin announced, loudly enough for everyone to hear, a fake gasp punctuating their words. Heads turned, conversation stopped. There you stood suddenly, the subject of judgmental glances and whispered gossip. That's not what I meant, you stammered, trying to salvage the situation, but it was too late. The damage was done, and the narcissist was basking in the spotlight they had created at your expense. This is their game, narcissist. Collect information like currency, ready to spend it at the precise moment it will benefit the most. Your feelings, vulnerabilities, or casual confessions, to them these are just tools to manipulate, embarrass, or control you. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, offers timeless wisdom for such moments. Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. So what do you do first? You learn the golden rule: ever share personal information with a narcissist. This isn't about being paranoid. It's about maintaining boundaries and protecting yourself if you must interact with them. Keep conversations light and surface level. Talk about the weather, the latest movies, or anything neutral that doesn't give them ammunition. Imagine a castle surrounded by a moat. That castle is your private life, and the moat is your discretion. By choosing what to share and what to withhold, you ensure the narcissist never gains access to the inner sanctum of your thoughts and feelings when they probe for more. Why don't you like these reunions? Or tell me what you think about Aunt Margaret. You respond with vague non-committal answers. Oh, don't mind them. It's just busy, you know. You keep the moat filled, and the drawbridge firmly raised. The next time you're tempted to share, remember this story. Your words may seem innocent, but to a narcissist, they're seeds of chaos waiting to bloom. Protect your peace by keeping your private thoughts private. After all, as Epictetus said, "O man is free who is not master of himself." Mastery in this case begins with silence. No. For self-improvement and success, the narcissist's kryptonite. The narcissist in your life, whether a partner, an ex, or someone who never deserved your time to begin with, thrives on one principle: keeping you beneath them. Your stagnation feeds their ego. Your insecurities give them leverage. But the moment you begin to rise, learning, growing, succeeding, you threaten the delicate balance of their self-made hierarchy. To a narcissist, your success is not just an inconvenience, it's a direct assault on their perceived superiority. Picture this: you've just started a new fitness routine. You're eating healthier, exercising regularly, and feeling better than ever. Your partner, the narcissist, notices. At first they may feign support. "That's great, babe," they say, eyes narrowing as they calculate their next move. A week later they're mocking your choices. "Oh, you're eating that, a guy. Guess you're too good for takeout now." Subtle digs masked as jokes start to chip away at your confidence. But why? Because your self-improvement casts the spotlight on their inadequacies. Your glow-up is their wake-up call, and they hate it. Marcus Aurelius had no tolerance for such pettiness, reminding us in Meditation, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one now. Imagine flipping the script. Instead of retreating, you double down. You keep showing up to the gym, acing your work presentations, and studying for that degree you've always wanted. Each step forward you take leaves them scrambling to catch up, or to pull you back down. Take another example from a romantic relationship. You're thriving at work, earning promotions and accolades. The narcissist, they sulk. Must be nice to have a job that matters. They say, their bitterness thinly veiled. Or perhaps they go for sabotage, demanding more of your time and energy, making you feel guilty for focusing on your goals. A Stoic response: maintain your course. As Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. It's not just in relationships. An ex-narcissist might slide into your DMs when they see your LinkedIn update about your new job. While looks like someone's moving up in the world, they type laced with faux admiration. Translation: how dare you outgrow me? Your success is their kryptonite because it reminds them they're not as indispensable as they think. But here's the kicker: your journey isn't about them. It's about you. Self-improvement isn't revenge, it's freedom. It's reclaiming the time and energy they once drained and redirecting it toward your growth. Build your skills, nurture your health, and celebrate your wins. Post those achievements proudly. OT for their approval, but for your joy. Let their insecurities simmer as you rise higher, and when they try to derail you, stay focused. Marcus Aurelius gives us the perfect rallying cry: dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them. So keep running, keep thriving. Leave the narcissist behind in their own shadow, because nothing irritates them more than seeing you shine in a world they can no longer control. No. 5 actions speak louder than drama. The narcissist's worst enemy. Words are the narcissist's favorite playground. They twist them, distort them, and hurl them back at you like boomerangs. Sharpened to cut deep, you say, "I just need some space." And suddenly you're the villain who abandons people. You point out their hurtful behavior, and they reframe it as you attacking their character. This is their game. Verbal gymnastics designed to confuse, frustrate, and control. So why bother engaging in a battle of words when you can let your actions do the talking? The narcissist can't manipulate silence, and they certainly can't twist what isn't said. Instead of wasting breath on arguments destined to be distorted, show them where you stand with bold, clear, and undeniable actions. Let's say the narcissist in your life is a romantic partner who constantly dismisses your boundaries. You've told them repeatedly, "I need time to focus on my work." But they keep interrupting with trivial demands for attention. Words have failed you here. So what do? You take Octio. You close the door, you silence your phone. You block off non-negotiable me time on your calendar. You don't argue, you don't exply. You just act Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor who probably had to deal with his fair share of narcissists. In the Roman Senate understood this principle well. Waste no time talking about what a good man should be. Be one. Now let's bring this into the workplace. Imagine a narcissistic coworker who thrives on taking credit for others' ideas. You could confront them in a meeting, but why hand them an opportunity to gaslight in front of the team instead? You let your actions speak. You document your work meticulously. CC the boss on emails detailing your contributions, and present your ideas directly. When the narcissist tries to claim your achievements, the evidence is already there, silent, indisputable, and devastating. Here's a fun metaphor for this strategy. The narcissist is a cat, constantly batting at dangling strings. Your words cut the strings, and they're left pawing at thin air, bewildered and powerless. Your actions, on the other hand, are the immovable furniture of the room. They can't argue with it, they can only accept it. When they inevitably confront you, why are you shutting me out? Or why didn't you run this by me first? You maintain your stoic resolve. A calm, simple response like "This is what I've decided" closes the conversation, as Epictetus said. Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it in the end. Actions aren't just louder than words, they're unassailable. They render the narcissist's tactics futile, leaving you standing firm in your truth. Let them twist and turn in frustration as you continue building your life, step by deliberate step, on a foundation they can't shake. No. 6. Don't expect change. A lesson in futility. There was once a man named Daniel, a kind-hearted, patient soul who fell in love with a woman named Clara. Clara was magnetic, charming, witty, and seemingly perfect. But as the honeymoon phase faded, Daniel began to notice patterns. Clara never apologized, even when she was clearly in the wrong. Every disagreement turned into a trial where Daniel was the defendant, and Clara the infallible judge. Her needs always came first. Her accomplishments were all that mattered, and her flaws, according to her, they didn't exist. Daniel thought love could fix it. He believed his devotion, his endless compromises, and his carefully worded explanations would eventually help Clara see the light. After all, how could someone so intelligent and charismatic to realize how their actions hurt others? So he tried. He bought books on communicatio, attended counseling sessions alone when Clara refused, and spent countless nights crafting heartfelt letters about how they could grow together. Each effort was met with the same response. Why do you always make me out to be the problem? Claire would snap, or worse, she'd laugh dismissively, saying, "You're overreacting as always. Stop being so sensitive." One evening, after an especially draining argument, Daniel found himself staring into the bathroom mirror, exhausted and questioning his sanity. He remembered a line he had once read. For Marcus Aurelius, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. It hit him like a thunderbolt. He had spent years trying to mold Clara into someone she wasn't. He had given her the script for change, only to realize she had no intention of performing. The problem wasn't just Clara. He believed that he could rewrite her character. The next day, Daniel stopped trying to change her. He stopped explaining, stopped pleading, and stopped hoping for apologies that would never come. Instead, he focused on himself. He set boundaries. He took up hobbies he had abandoned for her. He reconnected with friends who reminded him of the person he was before Clara. Clara noticed the shift at first. She tried to reel him back with flattery and promises, but Daniel had learned his lesson. Epictetus had warned him, man is not disturbed by things, but by the views he takes of them. Daniel realized he couldn't control Clara's behavior, but he could control his reaction to it. He stopped engaging in arguments designed to wear him down. He refused to let her words pierce his sense of self-worth, and slowly but surely, he reclaimed his peace. The moral of Daniel's story: narcissists don't change because they don't see the need to. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you can redirect your energy toward changing what truly matters, yourself. It's not surrender, it's liberation. And that, my friend, is the ultimate victory. No. 7. Don't enter the power games. Leave the trophy to their shadows. Imagine a race. The narcissist is the star runner, decked out in flashy gear, ready to sprint toward a gleaming, golden trophy that says champion of control. They live for this race, because they truly need the trophy, but because they need to know they've outpaced everyone else. The competition isn't about winning, it's about ensuring everyone else loses. And you're the unwilling participant they've dragged to the starting line. At first it seems like you have no choice but to argue. The narcissist goads you can't do this without me, or prove you're not as incompetent as everyone thinks. They bait you with accusations, guilt, or even false praise. The race begins and you're off, chasing their approval, defending your worth, or just trying to keep up. But here's the catch: the race never ends. No matter how fast you argue, the narcissist moves the finish line. They change the rules, dismiss your achievements with, or accuse you of cheating. Exhaustion sets in, you wonder why you even started running in the first place. That's when the Stoic wisdom of Marcus Aurelius rings true: reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. I'll picture this: instead of running, you step off the track entirely. The narcissist doesn't expect it. What are you doing? They shout, bewildered. You smile calmly and say, I'm not interested in this race. Suddenly the narcissist is left running alone. Their glorious victory, reduced to a hollow lap around an empty track. Here's a practical example. Say your narcissistic boss pits you against a coworker for a promotion, encouraging cutthroat competition and fueling office drama. Instead of diving into the fray, you focus on your work, stay professional, and refuse to engage in the sabotage they're subtly orchestrating. When the narcissist tries to spark tension, did you hear what they said about you? You reply, I'm only focused on doing my best. Or consider a romantic partner who turns every disagreement into a battlefield of egos. They declare ultimatums, escalate minor issues into major dramas, and revel in watching you scramble to meet their impossible demands. Instead of arguing, you calmly say, I'm not going to fight about this, and walk away. Epictetus had the right idea. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is woe by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. By refusing to participate in their power games, you strip the narcissist of their favorite weapon. Control. They can't win a race you're not running, and the trophy they so desperately crave. It becomes a meaningless trinket, gathering dust in the shadow of your indifference. The lesson is clear: step off the track, leave them chasing their empty prize, and focus on building your own life, one free of manipulation and endless races to nowhere. No, don't try to please them. The bottomless black hole of narcissism. Imagine a black hole in the vast expanse of space, an endless, insatiable vortex that devours everything in its path. No matter how much matter, light, or energy is pulled into its depths, it remains forever unfilled. This is the narcissist psyche. A bottomless void of need, incapable of true satisfaction. You could sacrifice your time, your energy, and your very sense of self, but nothing you do will ever be enough to fill their emptiness. Let's break it down with an example. You're dating a narcissist. At first they shower you with compliments and affection, making you feel like the center of their universe. But soon the demands beggy. Why didn't you text me back immediately? Don't you care how I feel? You didn't plan my birthday exactly how I wanted you. Try harder, bending over backward to meet their expectations, hoping to avoid their disappointment or anger. But here's the kicker. Every time you meet one of their demands, they move the goalposts. The perfect birthday party isn't perfect enough. The constant reassurance isn't constant enough. The love you pour into them vanishes like water into sand. As Epictetus aptly said, curb your desire. Don't set your heart on so many things, and you will get what you need. This isn't about you failing. It's about them being incapable of contentment. A narcissist's need for validation is endless, because it's rooted in a deep, unacknowledged insecurity. They don't want to feel better. They want to feel superior, and to maintain that illusion, they'll keep you on a treadmill of unmet expectations. Consider a workplace scenario. Your narcissistic boss constantly criticizes your work. You stay late, triple check your reports, and even skip personal events to meet their impossible standards. But it's never enough. You're too slow. They say one day, now you're rushing. They snap the next. Their approval is a mirage. You chase it, but it always fades into the distance. Here's the Stoic solution. Stop chasing. Marcus Aurelius reminds us in Meditations. Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. I'll take what's left and live it properly. This isn't an invitation to despair. It's a call to liberation. Accept that you cannot please them. and shift your focus to living authentically. Instead of scrambling to meet their impossible demands, prioritize your values, goals, and well-being when they comply, because they will let their words wash over you. Like rain on a stone, you are no longer in their orbit, trying to fill their emptiness. The black hole will never be satisfied, but you don't have to be consumed by it. Step away, build your universe, and let their void spin on without you, because true peace isn't found in pleasing others. It's found in pleasing yourself. No. 9. Strategic distance. When the puppet cuts the strings. To a narcissist, you are not a perso. You are a resource. Your time, your energy, your reactions, and even your silence are all valuable commodities. They mine to sustain their fragile ego. But what happens when the mine runs dry? When do you stop being their constant source of validation? That's when the real fireworks begin. Think of the narcissist as a puppeteer. Every time they pull a string, a text, a guilt trip, a just checking in phone call, they expect you to dance. But what happens when the puppet cuts the strings? Strategic distancing is your way of stepping off the stage and leaving the narcissist scrambling to find a new show. Take, for example, Lisa, who worked with a narcissistic boss named Greg. Greg thrived on micromanaging his team, pulling everyone into endless meetings, and expecting instant replies to his late-night emails. For years, Lisa complied, responding to his texts immediately, staying late to fix non-existent issues, and jumping through every hoop Greg threw her way. Then one day, Lisa decided to implement strategic distance. She began replying to Greg's emails during working hours only, declining unnecessary meetings, and politely but firmly enforcing her boundaries. Greg noticed immediately. "You didn't reply to my message last night," he barked. "I assumed it wasn't urgent." Lisa replied calmly, refusing to engage further. She didn't argue or apologize. She simply maintained her distance. This psychological shift left Greg reeling. Without her constant availability, he lost his sense of control over her. Marcus Aurelius might have had Lisa in mind when he wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Strategic distance doesn't just work in professional settings. It's a lifesaver in relationships too. Imagine you're dating a narcissist who insists on constant communication. They text you every hour, demand immediate replies, and guilt trip you for spending time with friends. Instead of getting sucked into their vortex, you start spacing out your responses. A text they expect you to answer in 5 minutes, takes an hour. A phone call they want to last an hour is politely ended after 10 minutes. At first, the narcissist will escalate. They'll accuse you of ignoring them, try to bait you with guilt, or even throw in a dramatic gesture like, "I guess you don't care about me anymore." But this is a test, as Epictetus said. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. What you have to do is hold your ground. Strategic distance is not about punishing the narcissist. It's about reclaiming your space, your energy, and your peace. Over time, the narcissist will either adapt to your boundaries or fade from your life, unable to sustain their control without your participation. Remember, distance doesn't mean disengagement. It means freedom. You are no longer a puppet dancing on their strings. You are the architect of your own life, far beyond the reach of their grasping hands. Let them flounder while you move forward. The stage is yours now. No. 10. Leverage the no expectations principle. The narcissist's most devastating reality check. A narcissist is like an illusionist, and expert at setting up dazzling expectations, only to pull the rug out from under you. At the last moment, they thrive on your hope. Your belief that they might change, care, or even just do the bare minimum fuels their power. But what if you simply stopped expecting anything? What if you looked them square in the eye and said, "I know exactly what you are and I expect nothing more"? That, my friend, is the kind of plot twist that leaves them gasping for air. Let me paint you a picture. Meet Emily, a woman who for years hoped her narcissistic boyfriend, Derek, would finally step up. Birthdays, he always forgot promises. He made them grand but delivered nothing. When confronted, Derek would unleash a tirade of excuses. "You're too demanding," or "I never asked for this pressure." One fateful year, Emily decided to conduct a little experiment. Her birthday was coming up, and instead of dropping hints, making plans, or expecting anything, She embraced the Stoic philosophy of no expectations. As Epictetus famously advised, don't hope that events will turn out the way you want, but welcome events in whichever way they happen. So the day arrived. Derek waltzed in empty-handed, with no mention of her birthday, and flopped onto the couch. Emily, prepared for the show, simply smiled and handed herself a small cake she bought earlier. "Happy birthday to me," she declared cheerfully, slicing herself a generous piece. Derek stared flabbergasted. "Oh, there's no guilt trip. Oh, argument." He was a magician whose trick had failed to astonish. Here's the brilliance of the no expectations principle. It strips the narcissist of their favorite weapon, your hope. Hope gives them leverage. They promise just enough to keep you tethered, dangle a carrot of potential to make you chase them. When you stop chasing, they lose their power. Consider a workplace scenario. Your narcissistic manager assures you next quarter you'll get the recognition you deserve. In the past, you worked overtime, bent over backward, and clung to their empty promise like a lifeline. OT anymore. Instead, you decide, I'll do my job well, but I'll seek fulfillment elsewhere, through hobbies, friendships, or even a better job. When the promised recognition never comes, you shrug. The narcissist, expecting your outrage, finds only indifference. It's not just about what you do, it's about how. Your lack of expectation utterly confounds them. Narcissists thrive on being the center of your emotional world, whether through joy or frustration. Your apathy is like static on their favorite channel, rendering their drama unwatchable. Marcus Aurelius captured this mindset perfectly. In Meditations, begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall meet with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, pat, and selfishness. All of them result from ignorance of what is good or evil. But I am free from it all, for I have guarded my soul. Emily eventually left Derek, taking her cake and her peace of mind with her. The takeaway: stop feeding the narcissist with hope, and start nurturing your sense of reality. Expect nothing and you'll gain everything. The freedom to live without their manipulation, the clarity to see through their tricks, and the peace that comes from no longer playing their rigged game. Because in the end, the greatest disappointment for a narcissist isn't your anger or despair, it's your quiet, unwavering indifference. No. 11. Burst their bubble. Deflating the narcissist's ego with indifference. To a narcissist, their accomplishments, whether exaggerated, stolen, or outright fabricated, are sacred relics. They parade them around like trophies, expecting gasps of admiration and an endless stream of validation. But here's the kicker: even a single shrug can send them spiraling into existential dread. Their meticulously constructed kingdom of self-glory collapses when faced with the crushing weight of indifference. Let me introduce you to Kyle, the colleague who could turn organizing the office coffee station into a TED Talk-worthy achievement. One afternoon, Kyle spent an entire team meeting boasting about his role in securing a minor client deal. "Honestly, without me stepping in, we would have lost this client," he declared, his tone brimming with self-importance. He punctuated the speech with a theatrical sigh and leaned back, awaiting the inevitable flood of admiration. But this time his coworker Sarah tried something new. Instead of clapping metaphorically, she responded with a casual, "That's nice," and went back to her notes. Kyle froze, momentarily stunned. Oh, applause, no probing questions about his brilliance. Just nice. His carefully orchestrated moment of triumph fizzled out before it could take flight. Here's the genius of Sarah's approach. Narcissists thrive on external validation. When you deny them the attention they crave, their ego flounders. Marcus Aurelius, in his timeless Meditations, put it best: it never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Let's shift to a family gathering. Aunt Linda, the self-proclaimed matriarch and unofficial of everything, spends 20 minutes regaling everyone with the saga of her latest kitchen renovation. "The marble countertops were my idea, of course," she says, making direct eye contact with you. "Aren't they stunning?" Instead of fawning, you respond with a neutral, "They're nice," before turning back to your plate. The air in the room changes. Cat Linda shifts in her seat, suddenly less sure of her dominio. This isn't about being rude or dismissive. It's about breaking the cycle of feeding their ego. Narcissists equate attention with power, and by withholding it you remind them, that their triumphs don't dictate your reality. Epictetus captured the sentiment beautifully. When someone is properly grounded in life, they should not have to look outside themselves for approval, but beware. Indifference doesn't sit well with a narcissist. They may escalate, boasting louder, inflating their stories further, or even resorting to guilt-tripping. I guess you just don't care about my hard work. Your response: hold firm, smile, shrug, and keep your peace. This strategy isn't about crushing their ego. For the sake of it, it's about preserving your energy and refusing to play their game. By treating their so-called achievements with the same enthusiasm as reading a grocery list, you shift the focus back to where it belongs: your well-being. So, the next time a narcissist waves their latest achievement like a flag of superiority, remember, a quiet shrug is more powerful than a standing ovation. Let their ego spiral into the void while you bask in the serenity of your indifference. After all, your peace isn't theirs to control. No. 12. Forgive and let go. The ultimate act of self-love. Anger, resentment, and bitterness. These are the chains that keep you tethered to the narcissist long after their presence has faded. Each time you replay their words or relive their manipulative games, you hand them free rent in your mind. But here's the truth: forgiveness isn't for them. It's for you. It's the ultimate act of self-love. A gift that frees your heart from the burden of its toxicity and allows you to reclaim your peace. Picture a stormy sea, waves crashing violently against jagged rocks. That's your emotional state. When you hold on to anger against a narcissist, they've hurt you, belittled you, or manipulated you. And the instinct is to harbor those feelings like armor. But the Stoics knew better. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Take Maria, for example. She spent years in a relationship with a narcissist who constantly undermined her confidence. Even after their breakup, she found herself replaying his cutting remarks in her head: "You'll never succeed without me," or "You're too sensitive." The anger festered, creeping into her friendships and work life, leaving her bitter and closed off. One day, while reading about Stoicism, Maria stumbled upon this profound idea from Epictetus: "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Maria realized something crucial. Her ex no longer had control over her life. She was still letting his words dictate her emotions. That night, she wrote down everything she was holding on to: the insults, the manipulations, the disappointment. Then, one by one, she forgave them, not for his sake but for hers. With each act of forgiveness, she felt lighter, as if the chains that had bound her were falling away. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing the narcissist behavior or inviting them back into your life. It's about releasing the grip they have on your emotions. When you forgive, you stop drinking the poison of resentment, and you start nourishing yourself with self-love. Start small. Each time you feel the sting of their words or actions, remind yourself, this is no longer mine to carry. Picture yourself setting down a heavy bag at the side of the road and walking away lighter and freer. And then focus on what matters most. You take the time to rediscover who you are outside of their shadow. Build yourself up with affirmations, hobbies, and relationships that bring you joy. As Marcus Aurelius advises, look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look. Forgiveness is not a weakness. It is the ultimate strength. It is a declaration that you value your peace, your happiness, and your future more than the pain they caused by letting go. You choose freedom over anger, love over bitterness, and growth over stagnation. In the end, forgiveness isn't just about healing the wounds they left behind. It's about creating a life so full of self, love, and peace that no one, even a narcissist, can take it away from you. Conclusion: reclaiming your peace, embracing your power. As we come to the end of this journey, let's take a moment to reflect not on the narcissist, but on you. You who have endured manipulation, gaslighting, and endless emotional tug-of-wars. You who may have doubted your worth, your strength, and your ability to rise above, yet here you are standing tall, ready to reclaim your peace and rewrite your story. Applying the principles of Stoicism and modern psychology is not just a way to shield yourself from narcissists. It's a powerful tool for self-discovery and resilience. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, outside events, Realize this and you will find strength. When you adopt this mindset, you're not just defending yourself, you're growing, you're learning to set boundaries, value your own needs, and walk away from the chaos that others try to impose on you. Each strategy we've explored isn't about harming the narcissist or proving them wrong, it's about preserving your energy, nurturing your inner peace, and focusing on the life you want to create. Imagine yourself as a tree deeply rooted in the ground, unshaken by the storms around you. The narcissist might try to uproot you with their games, but your roots, your self-awareness, your boundaries, your resilience keep you steady. This is your ultimate victory. Not in defeating them, but in choosing yourself. Let's talk about hope. It's easy to feel discouraged when dealing with a narcissist. They're relentless and manipulative, and often leave you feeling powerless. But the truth is, their power is an illusion. They only have as much control as you allow them. By stepping into your power, by living with intention, detachment, and clarity, you take back control of your life. Let this commend your mantra: I am free, I am strong, I am enough. Repeat it when doubt creeps in. When their words linger in your mind, or when you feel the weight of their influence, because you are enough without their validation, without their approval, without their games. As we close, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey. Your courage to learn, to grow, and to seek peace is inspiring. If this video resonated with you, please consider subscribing to our channel, Aurelius Stoic, for more wisdom and strategies to help you navigate life's challenges with grace and strength. Don't forget to hit the like button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on our content. Remember, this isn't the end. It's a new beginning. A life where your peace isn't negotiable, where your worth isn't determined by anyone else, and where your story is yours to write. Thank you for watching, for growing, and for choosing yourself. Here's to your strength, your peace, and your victory. Stay strong and stay stoic.